Yay Networks.
Hi, Wild Ones. Welcome back to the Wild Rose podcast. I'm Whitney Rose.
And I'm Connie Daniels. Hi, everyone. We are back, just like we said, for episode 12, our recap. Thank you for joining us. Whitney, is there anything we want to catch up on real quick before we dive in here?
Let's just rewind for a second. The last 3 weeks have been some of the best 3 weeks of my life, but it's been crazy. So I had BravoCon in Vegas. Mm-hmm. I came home for 2 days. I went back. What?
You were home for like a couple days for Thanksgiving, right?
No, this is before Thanksgiving.
Oh, before. Okay, this is all before. Okay.
Yeah, like this is like the last 3 weeks. So I was in Las Vegas for BravoCon, came home for 2 days. I went back to Las Vegas to host the opening of Gypsy Nightclub, came home, was home for a few days, went to New York to film the reunion, came home literally for Thanksgiving, left the next day to go back to New York to film Watch What Happens Live. We stayed an extra day in New York, and I got to hang out with my Bravo bestie, Lindsay Hubbard. We got to hang out with Tom Schwartz and like all my New York peeps that I love. And then I flew from New York, JFK, to Salt Lake City Airport. I had a 3-hour layover. I got glammed in the airport. I don't know if you saw my stories. I don't know if you saw my stories that day. We set up the makeup chair, got glammed. And then I flew to LA to go to Kathy Hilton's Christmas party.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, so I got to go to Kathy's house. That was very cool. I met Nikki Hilton. I saw, I got to see Kyle again, a bunch of the Beverly Hills Housewives. And then a lot of my friends just from the Bravo world were there. And it was so cool. Like, Prism's launching this line called Delusional, and it drops this week to our VIP waitlist. And it's like one of those moments where it's like, delusion got me here. Like, is it delusion or determination, right? Like, if you were to say that I'd be invited to a Christmas party at Kathy Hilton's house 10 years ago, I'd be like, you're delusional.
Right.
But here I am, and the Hilton family is just amazing. Kathy is amazing. But I think what really broke the internet was who I arrived with.
Oh, I missed that. Who did you show up with?
So we have a lot of catching up to do.
Really?
I went to Kathy Hilton's party with Mary Cosby.
What?
Yeah, me, Angie Castanevis, and Mary went together.
Okay, how did that happen?
So I can't give too much away, but reunion was very healing for Mary and I.
That's nice to hear.
We went below to below. And it was very intense, and I didn't like some of it. But when we were at the baggage claim coming home from reunion, I was on the phone off in the distance, and Justin was getting the luggage, and Mary went up to Justin and gave him a hug. And she was very sweet and kind. And so then I walked up, and she gave me a hug, and we just like apologized for everything that happened. And she's like, I forgive you. Cleared up the predator stuff, cleared all of that up. Like, I can't give it away because it's in reunion. But so then she says, hey, do you want to go to Kathy? Are you going to Kathy Hilton's party? And I said, yeah, I was invited too. And she's like, I'm bringing Angie as my +1. And I was like, what? Okay. So obviously reunion, a lot of dynamics shift at reunion. Yeah. So, I went with Mary Cosby, and we had the best time. She hosted us in her villa at the Four Seasons, and we had food in her room before, and then arrived together. And we went out to a gay bar after and had some drinks. And I have to say, because I swore up, down, left, right, and center I would never give that woman a second chance.
Right.
But I have to say I'm so glad I did. Because there's a side of Mary that, you know, I think I've seen glimpses of it before we started filming.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, we had Dom Perignon in a gay bar, so
nice. Well, this side of Mary needs to come out more for the rest of us to see, because I'm happy for you. I'm happy that happened, but I'm not totally on board yet. I'm not going to lie. She needs to show the rest of the world that part of her.
Yes, I'd
love to see
it. I agree.
I'd love to see it.
Yep. But
well, that's exciting. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Never have I like that. I never saw that coming, but here we are.
I don't think anyone did. Here you are. Wow, crazy.
And normally I wouldn't be able to leak that news, but it broke the internet when we walked the red carpet together. Sure. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah,
well, I did
you did what?
I did hear that she was there because I heard people saying, when she was on the red carpet with Kathy, and it was like the most awkward moment. That she thought she was going to get a picture with her or something, but Kathy wasn't taking the photo with her, so she was just kind of awkwardly standing there. I don't know. Somebody was just telling me about that. I'm like, oh, I can see you showing up with her. I wouldn't have been able to. I don't see that, but now that you've explained it, I do. But like I said, I really want to see this side of Mary more.
Yeah, it was our way of taking a step forward in a new positive direction.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Wow. Well, let's dive into episode 12 here. So I will remind you what happened. So episode 12, it begins with a drive with your cute husband to therapy in your matching Gucci t-shirts, which is so cute, by the way.
Oh yeah,
I love it.
I got eaten alive by press on the red carpet for that one.
Oh,
Teddy Mellencamp was reporting for Extra, and she could not get over the fact that we were matching. She's like, "You're matching your t-shirts and sunglasses and going to therapy," and I'm like, "Yeah." So.
I liked it. I thought it was fun. It was cute. And I just wanted to say, it's something that Jay says when you're talking about therapy in the car. He says, if you're both willing to fight, you can get through anything. And you both were like, okay, are you still fighting? We're still fighting. And I love that. I think there's a lot of truth in that.
Do you want to know how much we're still fighting for it? We just celebrated our 14th year wedding anniversary.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And my gift to him was a lazy boy. If that doesn't speak volumes for how much I love this man and am committed to making him happy, I got him a fucking lazy boy in my family room.
I was just going to ask you, where did you put this? In your family room?
In my family room. He has a lazy boy.
That does show your commitment.
Yeah, because he used to have 2 lazy boys, and I got rid of them because of the aesthetic. And this house is a little bit smaller than our old house. Mm-hmm. So, it's just set up way different. There's not as much space as our old house had. So I was like, the lazy boys got to go. Uh-huh. They don't match my aesthetic, and you're not a grandpa. Right.
When I met Ben when he was 24 years old, he had a lazy boy that we had to get rid of right away.
Yeah, see,
I see it. It's not cute. It's very comfy, and I get that, but
they are not panty droppers.
No. Maybe have they come a long way? Is the style different now? Is it? I mean,
yeah,
I'm dying to see the lazy boy now.
Okay, well, once you sit in this lazy boy, you're going to be like, oh, I need one, because it's fully automated now.
Nice.
And my thing is like, why do you need a lazy boy? We have a theater. We have 8 lazy boys downstairs,
Right. Yeah.
But that was my commitment to our marriage, is to give him something that would mean a lot to him. And so he got a lazy boy.
That's a thoughtful gift, Whitney.
So, yeah.
Good work. back to the episode. Meredith and Lisa go to lunch, and this is one of the reasons I actually love watching Salt Lake City, is because obviously I live here and I get to see these little places that are our hometown. So they go to Toscano's, which is right up the street from my house. I'm like, oh, I know this place.
That's our Mother's Day brunch place.
I know it is. I feel like we can kind of always get in there, and food's good. So, and it's next door, basically. Yep. So they have this little. Apparently, they have this little pact that they're going to talk to each other if they have stuff going on, or if they're concerned about the other person without talking with the other ladies about it. And so Meredith kind of calls out Lisa for going to the other women about and talking about her feelings on Meredith when wait, I'm trying to remember this. Now
so I'm well versed in this. So
okay. I'm gonna let you take over. So
I've heard this. I've hered this 1,000 times. Okay. So Meredith's point was, was just that she felt like what Monica was doing to Lisa is what Angie was doing to Meredith, and Lisa took a step back and pumped the brakes with Meredith because of the threats she was making towards Angie. So Meredith's point was, you're going to pump the brakes with me because you're saying I'm manipulating a situation, but I can't remember the minutia doesn't matter. But the point is that they were upset because Lisa's like, I have to pump the brakes because of what you've done to Angie with the rumors and all of that. Mm-hmm. And Meredith's point was Monica's doing the same thing. Angie's doing the same thing. It's manipulation. Right. So yeah, that's when we dive into it, you're actually kind of like, what the fuck? Actually, does it make any sense?
I know.
I can't even explain it. So it doesn't make sense. It's just Meredith is just trying to say she's being manipulated by Angie.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
Or someone. I don't know. But Lisa
wasn't treating the similar situation the same. So
yeah, giving Meredith the same benefit of doubt that she's giving Angie.
Gotcha. Okay. Now we're clear on that.
I think, but now that we try to break it down, it's like, wow, that really was bullshit.
Well, and one more thing I noticed. So Meredith, does she have a car of her own? I noticed she always gets dropped off, which is so nice to always have a driver. But I was just like, oh, she always has a driver. And maybe it's because she comes down from Park City.
And has a styrofoam cup.
Yeah. It's so neat. Maybe she's just being responsible.
Now that we're season 4, we do get car service if we intend on drinking.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I definitely use that.
And yeah, I don't know if Meredith owns a car because she doesn't live here. So where would she store her car?
Yeah, that's true.
If she owned one.
Good point. I don't know. Okay, well, it pops into a scene now. Monica goes to Mary's house. And I'm just trying to figure this out. Why is Monica clinging on to Mary? What do you think of their relationship?
Well, if you go back to Palm Springs,
they were buddies.
They were buddies. Okay. And Mary, Monica was the only one that Mary really received in Palm Springs, I'd say.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So she goes over there.
Yeah, just seeing them at different events. They and Apresky, they've always been
good with each other.
Oh, yeah, good with each other.
Yeah. I mean, Mary was really nice with her. I just thought it was funny that Mary told Monica not to hold a grudge, because I feel like Mary's kind of the queen of holding a grudge, even though she does not like to admit that. But great advice, Mary. Hard to take your own advice sometimes. I get it.
Yep. Very true.
All right. So now is kind of when this part of this episode gets kind of hard to watch. And this is when, right after our friend Sherry passed away. I know this episode, I think it was hard for a lot of people, especially, those who knew and loved Sherry like we did to watch. But I thought it was super sweet of Angie that she called to check in on you. And when she did, I was wondering who else was checked in on you. Like, where was Heather? Heather knew Sherry. And Heather doesn't talk much about this. Like, it doesn't really show her, at least, I don't know how she was behind the scenes, but like on camera, it didn't really show her showing up for you. So I'm just curious, who else checked in on you from your cast?
Surprising enough, once I told Meredith, the next day Meredith had food sent to my house. Like she bought my family and I, because she knew Justin was out of town, and so I was going through this kind of morning alone, right, without Justin here. I mean, I had you and I had all of our girlfriends, which honestly, if we didn't have each other, it would have been even harder. But Meredith sent, she asked me what my kid's favorite meal is, and she sent us like an insane amount of Chinese food.
That was sweet.
And then actually, Mary, not at the time, but when I saw her later, Mary she said, "I'm so sorry about your beautiful friend." She's like, I totally remember her at the events and stuff. So I think Heather sent me a text the night of, because I think maybe our mutual friend had told her something, but I got a text from Heather. But like, who really showed up was Angie and like Meredith. Meredith even offered, and I have the text messages to prove it, that she was going to come drive carpool for me. She was going to help. Like Seth was going to take Brooks to soccer. And I was like, no, it's okay.
Oh
like,
my gosh.
I said, I'm fine. It's better for me to keep moving. Like, I'm the type of person where I just need to keep moving, because we still had to get through this Bermuda trip. Yeah. And I think that's why Meredith was so gracious with that, because she knew, like, you're going to still have to film. Like, she knew what I was facing and like what I was going through and what I was facing. And so she was just trying to make it easier for me, which was very sweet.
That is super sweet. I love hearing that.
But yeah, that's one of the reasons why walking into Meredith's party, like, I got to see all of our friends. Like, Catherine was there, Tanner, Edward, like, Meredith is actually close to the Kwai family as well. Like, she's good friends with Ashley Kwai, Josh's brother, Sherry's husband.
Sister.
Josh's sister. So Sherry's sister-in-law. And, it just, yeah. So like, I got a lot of support from the other people.
Well, that's good to hear, that Meredith was so supportive, because I was thinking, like, you did show up. You said, I want to just go home, but Sherry always showed up for her friends, so I'm going to show up to Meredith's event. And then I did kind of, not like that it's tit for tat or anything like that, but I was thinking, like, you had just had your event, and I was wondering if Meredith showed up there, because I don't think I remember seeing Meredith at your event.
No, they flashed her. She declined. She said that she had an appointment with a client, and they flashed to her with Chad Sheehy.
What? What were they doing?
Chad missed my event to go to the store. I don't know.
Oh, I think he was doing some for photographing or something, he said. Well.
Yeah, anyways.
Okay.
No, she did not come to my event. And, I can't say what was really on her schedule that day or what her intentions were. I don't care. I don't care if she didn't want to support me. I only care about my intentions, and my intentions are, what we do is hard. We don't always like each other, but let's support each other's businesses, because who knows how long this show is going to be around. Our businesses last forever. And that support from women is what I'm about. Even when you're not in a good place with someone. And I'm glad I went because it felt good to get that comfort from Meredith, because we'd been on some and not in a great place.
Yeah.
For so long.
Yeah. So let's talk about that event because, first of all, a lot kind of went on during that event, but Lisa and Monica's makeup, I just have to say, I'm like, whoa, how did that happen so easy? It didn't seem very deep, but their hate for each other seems like it's a lot deeper than what their makeup was. And then Lisa's just like, oh yeah, we're good. It just like, it was so easy. Monica's like, I don't know what she even said to her, that, just like apologized or tried sort of apologize. And then Lisa's like, we're good. And that was it. Right?
Yeah, which is so crazy because after I had Lisa over at my house, I think it was like episode 10 or something. And she stopped talking to me after that point. Like Lisa dropped me, stopped responding, stopped texting me. Like she became cold. She was so mad that I called her out for fighting at my Prism event. And then she gives Monica this very easy like apology.
Right.
Like I'm gonna need we're gonna need our therapist on this one because it doesn't make any sense to me. Like you're gonna apologize to the woman you're fighting with, but not to the person's business, like the host of the business event. Who, by the way, I am Lisa's friend.
Right.
So like it made
that was wild to me.
That was cringy for me to watch. That was like, because I didn't really know that it happened in the moment. So that was cringe for me. I was like, whoa.
Well, and do you think it partly was because didn't Heather say something to Lisa like, oh, you're going to have to make up with Monica? Or she said it to Monica.
Yeah.
That's probably why Monica went and apologized.
Yeah. And look how smart Monica was. She went and fed Lisa with a bunch of compliments, a bunch of like, so I mean, Monica played it well.
Oh,
she did.
For sure.
I mean, we all got on a plane to Bermuda, so.
You all made it there at some point together. Okay, so then Lisa comes up and basically, brushes right by you, goes straight to Heather, bringing her gifts, doesn't even acknowledge what you'd just been through as your friend.
Doesn't even acknowledge me as a person, honestly.
Right. And it's like, I get it if she's like irritated or, by you calling her out or whatever, but like you just went through something so life-changing that was so traumatic and hard, and she doesn't even acknowledge you at all. That was actually really hard for me as your friend, like to watch her treat you that way. I was like, oh my, that's so cold. And just insensitive on every level. And anyway, that was tough. And I felt really bad.
Thank you, Connie, because that was tough for me because in that moment, I was like, holy shit. Like you just showed me who you are and I thought you changed.
Right.
We just went back to season 1, Lisa.
Yeah. Yeah. It kind of felt that way.
And then did you notice that she kept dodging me? And then the first time that she talked to me, she wanted to gossip about Meredith.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I had to be like, whoa, because you read the room because I just lost someone that I love dearly. Like one of my closest girlfriends was I just lost her. The last thing I want to fucking do, and I can say fuck because my kids aren't here. The last thing I want, no, they're going to put hot sauce on my tongue. if they ever hear
Don't let them listen.
Yeah. The last thing I want to do right now is, I'm cussing because I'm getting angry again. Like the anger comes up. Like, I don't want to talk about my friends that are living right now. I'm sorry. Maybe in a couple weeks I can get back into the gossip with you, but like right now, no. Like please be sensitive to the fact that you still haven't even acknowledged that I just lost someone, and you want to gossip about a friend that's living, that is tone deaf, read the room. You only care about yourself. And that was a hard moment for me because I had to really, it felt like I lost two friends. Like, but one of them still alive. And that was a very rough moment for me.
Yeah.
Cause I tried to keep it in. And
I
that's
think you
why
held it together.
That's why I left.
You held it together really good. And then,
but all we saw, can I make one more point about this?
Yeah.
Because all they really focused on the Heather of it all. Because that's where the drama is, right? Like this jealousy over the friendship. It's like, no, you two can have each other. Like,
yeah.
I am so glad that I don't have to be in the middle of this trifecta anymore. Like, be friends. We'll see how long this lasts. Good luck. That's not what it was about. But they focused on that aspect of it. But really what I was so mad at her for was I texted her the night prior and said, I don't even know if I should come to this event. Like, Angie called me and said I should go. And Lisa just like kind of was like, sorry for your loss, and ghosted me. And so like I texted only Angie and Lisa about it.
Yeah.
And so like the real problem I had was that she knew when I walked into this event, and she ignored me, went straight to Heather. First thing out of her mouth was gossip. And then she loves to make, like, she can't take anything, any criticism, any of your feelings or thoughts as like, she doesn't know how to do that in a relationship. She takes it as a personal attack.
Right. Well, and one more thing too, like, I totally understand that grief is such a hard thing and nobody knows exactly what to say or do for somebody else. I totally get it. If you don't have the words, Lisa, just give her a hug, give you a hug. Like, that's all she needed to do, is just give you a hug, say, I'm sorry, say nothing, acknowledge you. And, because I know that she was like, well, I don't know how you're feeling in that moment. Well, yeah, exactly. But at the same time, I think maybe she just has a hard time. I'm not giving her an out, but like handling things like that are really deep and really hard.
Yeah.
And really real.
Yeah. And like, I think we have to give her that out, because otherwise the alternative is, it's bad.
Is that she's just a cold-hearted bitch?
Yeah.
And we don't want to think that.
I don't want to think that, because we built up this friendship that, but it's gone. Like it's gone.
So then you call her out.
But I did get my hug from Tom Shorts at Watch What Happens Live. Aww. I don't know if you watched that, but he shares the same sentiment as you. He's like, that was so hard to watch. Aww. And he's like, all you needed was a hug. And so we stood up and he gave me a hug.
Oh, sweetie.
And I was like, see, I didn't need words. I didn't need flowers. I didn't need anything. I just needed, but not everyone has a different level of emotional IQ and a way of handling grief. So now I know if Lisa's grieving someone, she doesn't want to talk about it. She doesn't want to acknowledge it. She doesn't want to, she wants me to walk on eggshells.
Right.
So until you go through it, you don't know.
It's very true. It's very true.
But
well, when you call her out on it for being self-absorbed and not acknowledging you at all, I just thought it was interesting that, and almost comical at this point, when Lisa gets called out for something that you can tell she feels bad about, her emotion, she doesn't know how to handle it. So she cries. So she'll cry and call her husband. She'll cry and throw her mic off. She'll cry when she knows that she's in the wrong and being called out, and she doesn't know what to say to you, but get her anger and then her tears.
Yeah. See, and I went to the bathroom because I started personally crying after I walked away from her. And I went into the bathroom and I was just like, I just like said a prayer, and I was just like, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't want to go home and be alone. I don't want to go back out there. I don't know what to do. So like, I gathered myself. I could hear her yelling.
Mm-hmm.
But when I watched back, that she was like saying, F Whitney, F you. You want to talk about being there for someone, keep your effing mouth shut. Like, my question to you, Connie, is why does the audience like praise her for that? Because that moment was something that I don't think I can come back from.
Your guess is as good as mine. I don't know. It makes zero sense to me. I wish it did, but I don't know.
I wasn't like, Lisa's taking this whole thing as like I was chastising her, when I was just, after I saw that she wasn't going to like acknowledge me or be there for me, I just wanted to avoid her.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's the one that kept pressing, like, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Is this about Heather? Is this about Heather? And I'm like, no, it's about my loss.
Right. You're like, hello. Oh, man. I don't know. That one, that was a tough one. That was.
It was very tough.
So, and that's how that one ended, that episode. It does kind of show us a glimpse of what is next. Bermuda is finally here. They've been teasing us with this girls' trip to Bermuda the entire season. So I'm stoked to get into that. But yeah, wow. There was a lot to unpack on that one for sure. And a lot,
and again, I just want to thank everyone, like, for all the love and support. So many people reached out and sent their love.
mm-hmm.
And if I haven't had a chance to get back to you, I'm sorry, but I've seen it. I feel it. I know Connie does too. Like, we really appreciate your love and support with this whole situation. And it's really hard to like go through that. And then now I have to go to Bermuda on a girls' trip, which is one of the most high demand, high pressure situations.
Mm-hmm.
But just thank you to everyone for all the love. And I just want to give a quick update, because a lot of people ask about Sherry's family, and, you know, I don't want to speak on behalf of them, but they're doing well. And, you know, despite the immense loss that they've had, Josh is an amazing father, and he is taking such good care of those little kids. And I'm just so proud of him and proud of the kids. And, it's hard. I can't, that's all I want to say, because I'm going to turn into a puddle of tears. But thank you to everyone. And, you know, Josh feels all the love too. So yeah, that's all I want to say. But do you want to close this out? Before I start bawling.
I'll take over so you can have a moment here.
Okay.
No, but Whitney and I, we love all of you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for liking, reviewing, and sharing our podcast. We're grateful for all of you, and we can't wait to meet here again with you and recap Bermuda episode 13. So, Whitney, until then, be you.
Stay wild.
Yay Networks.